Anchors up, sails at full. Welcome to the Sloopcast. How are you doing today, Kyle?
Doing right, Jared. How are you doing?
Doing good. Kyle, we were talking about this before we started recording, but I'm going to share it with the podcast folks as well. I haven't been acknowledging these too often, but for the Big Ten slate, I've been having these little badges, just little things poking fun at the other teams on the YouTube overlay here. When I made the Wisconsin sticker, or whatever you want to call this, emoji, whatever, it was just sort of made in good fun during the off season. Given the current state of Wisconsin football, it just kind of feels mean. It just kind of feels mean at this point to call them Wisconsin. It wasn't even all that funny to begin with. It's like, haha, you used to be a W, now you're an L, ha ha ha. It wasn't even all that funny to begin with. So like, it has to be funnier than it is mean. And I don't know if that's true anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Given the current state of Wisconsin football.
But we ride with it though.
We do. I didn't have time to change it out for a new one. I also didn't even really consider it, if I'm being honest. So if you want to get to know our enemy, the first thing you want to know about Wisconsin is that this is not Barry Alvarez's Wisconsin. This is not even Bert's. No. This is not even Bert's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin 2-4.
I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah. Wisconsin 2-4, coming on a 4-game losing streak.
Who are the two wins against?
Miami of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to put a pause there.
We knew. We knew. You didn't have to. We know.
All right. And Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. This isn't even Paul Chryst, Wisconsin. Listen, I knew that there was someone in between Bert and Fickle, but I'd already forgotten who it was. There are two people.
This is also coming off a shutout loss at home.
Yeah.
To Iowa, 37-0.
Yeah. You let Iowa score 37 on you. And granted, like, as far as Iowa goes, this is actually, they have a pretty decent offense. As far as Iowa goes, their offense isn't terrible this year. But still, you're going to let Iowa score 37 on you?
Yeah. Yikes. But let's get to know Wisconsin here.
Aren't we?
So, yeah, let's get to know Wisconsin. Quarterback, who knows? Who knows who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be their original starter, Danny O'Neal, who was then sidelined for Hunter Simmons, who then has looked pretty bad as well these past 3 games as well?
Yeah.
They've combined 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions combined.
Yeah.
Not good. That's not good. So
bit of both, maybe.
I think against the Iowa game, Fickle came out and said that Hunter was going to be the starter, but Danny would play if he felt like that. They wanted to put him in, and he didn't get to see the field at all. Maybe he pulls the trigger and puts Danny back in. Who knows? That's why I put Listen, both.
It's always a great sign when you say so and so is our starter for now, but we've reserved the option to throw what's his face in.
Yeah. Verbatim. It's not for exact quote he said, but it's verbatim pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not a great sign. That means you don't have.
That means you don't have a starter. Yes.
Correct. I mean, to put it plainly, yeah, exactly. And not in a good way. Not that I think there's ever a good way. I think you always just kind of want a quarterback. But this is desperately seeking a quarterback, not I'm holding too many quarterbacks. What do I do with all these quarterbacks? Obviously.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. But Kyle, surely this is Wisconsin we're talking about. They have some sort of badass running back, yes?
No. Now they got a running back who's averaging just over 4 yards per carry, and the team as a whole, and granted, probably with sacks as well. Actually, they're not that great in protecting the quarterback either, but their rushing yards per rush is 3.1 yards, which puts them 118th. Now, how much of that? Well, I know there's a lot related to quarterback sacks, so the number should be higher when it comes to running backs. But Dylan Jones is averaging just over 4 yards per carry.
Okay, Kyle. So you're telling me they don't have a good passing game and they don't have a good running game.
Mm-hmm. And they let up a sack every 8% of every pass of all passes end up being a sack, which puts them at 105th in the country.
All right, Kyle, what does Wisconsin do well?
Defense.
Okay.
Let's talk about defense, because Wisconsin is always known for having good defense historically. Yeah, seeing jump around. That's what they do. And they punt well.
Do they punt better than us?
I could probably find that as we're talking here, but give me a moment to talk about the defense first here.
Yeah, no, just let that go.
44th in the country in points per game. It's not saying much. They are 15th, Jared, 15th in the country in running yards per game at 97.5 yards per game, and they're letting up 3.5 yards per rush, which is pretty good, pretty darn good. 34th in the country, but they don't do well in turnovers. They don't do well in causing turnovers as well, and they don't do well when it comes to passing yards and passing either. Kind of middle of the road in passing yards per game, and passing yards per pass is really low. They're like 105th in the country, so tells me that a lot of their passes is just dump passes, short passes.
Kyle, hold on, time out. I asked you, what does Wisconsin do well?
And you said they do well.
Hold on.
They do well on the running tack.
Hold on. You said defense. And then you proceeded to tell me that, like, points per play, they're 79th in the country, and passing yards per pass, per attempt, they're 105th in the country. And you also told me they're very bad at forcing turnovers.
They're good at stopping the run.
Okay. We can work with that.
And they're good at third down percentage too. They're 14th in the country in third down percentage, 30%, which I think Illinois was right around there too. I'd have to go back to, actually, no, they were worse. Disregard. 14th in the country. So
I'm trying to find some positives here, and you're not helping.
They're good at third down percentage on defense, and they're good at stopping the run. So trying to convert on short yardage on third downs may be challenging.
Okay.
How about that?
All right. So surely Ohio State comes out and just passes all over them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, we're definitely not going to try and run into the one part of their team that's good, right? We're not going to do that, right? Especially with Bo Jackson maybe still having some ankle issues. We're definitely not just going to run on first and second down all the time, right?
If I was Coach Day or Coach Hartline, I wouldn't be doing too many 12 or 13 formations.
Well, hold on. So you talk about 12 formation. Let's just leave 13. Let's leave the 13 position group off the table. Let's talk about 12. For anyone who doesn't know, that's a running back and two tight ends. Let's talk about 12. Well, sometimes you run 12 for pass protection. Does Wisconsin get a lot of sacks?
Kind of middle of the road. Kind of middle. They're 66th. 6% quarterback sacks percentage per play.
Who's their main sack getters on the team?
Let me double check here, because I don't think it was really one person in particular.
All right, so it can come from anywhere.
It's not. It could come from anywhere. Christian Allegro, their one of their middle linebackers, has 2 sacks.
Separating between the line spikes.
One of their outside linebackers also has 2 sacks. Their other inside linebacker has a sack. Their other linebacker has a sack. So you kind of seeing it here.
So I'm looking at the chart that we have up on the screen. The highest sack total I see is 2.
Here it is. Like I cut off the names helpful there, but I know, but you can see like their top sack leaders at 2-2, 1-1, 1-1-1, 1-1-1, half.
All right.
Not one person that gets a lot of sacks. It's spread across. It could be dangerous.
Or that means they have to blitz to generate sacks.
Sure. I mean, they do run a 2-4-2 defense.
2-4-2 is a 4-2-5, but with your defensive end standing up. That's all that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet they're really scrappy inside linebackers. You know
about that.
I'll just let you look at their biography.
Let's just say that they're real lunch pail types. High motor, very coachable.
There it is. Sneaky athletes. That's the phrase right there.
Yeah. Quicker than fast.
Yeah. A note here. I didn't put them on here as key as any stats, but their starting defensive tackles, Jared, combined for the season is 7 tackles.
All right, so their defensive tackles are block eaters.
Yes, and then their linebackers, their edge rushers are the ones that's getting all the tackles.
It looks like it's their inside guys getting most of the tackles, assuming that's what you mean by... I assume that edge means their outside linebackers and linebackers means their inside linebackers, how you have it labeled here.
Correct, yeah.
It looks like it's mostly Allegro, Tackett, Curtis, who, by the way, was someone that Ohio State tried to recruit. Like, Tackett, Curtis, yeah. Ohio State pursued very heavily in recruiting. And also Austin Brown, a safety, is among their leading tacklers as well.
He's third, yeah.
So, Kyle, I'm trying really hard to say something nice about Wisconsin right now. Kyle, please say something nice about Wisconsin.
I already did. I talked about their third down percentage.
Okay, but
rushing defense.
Here's my problem with the third down percentage as a gold star for them.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at yards per game, they're 23rd in the country. That's not bad. 23rd in the country, yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
However, their points per play is 79th in the country. And their points per game is 44th in the country. There's a big discrepancy between the yards and the points.
Field possession.
Which takes us back to the turnovers, where they are 110th in the country at protecting the ball offensively.
They have caused 4 turnovers defensively, 4 interceptions, and 0 fumble recoveries. They have only forced 1 fumble all year, and they did not recover that.
Right, but it's the other side that I was specifically talking about because of field possession. And Kyle, are we sure they can outpunt us? Because based off of what I'm seeing,
Yeah, no.
It kind of doesn't look like it because it kind of looks like they're getting killed in field position. And yes, I know they have turned the ball over a lot. Again, 110th in the country as far as turning the ball over offensively, which is bad, but maybe doesn't make up for that much of a discrepancy between what looks like good defensive yardage, but bad defensive points, or at least middle of the road defensive points. I'm just saying, like, the third down doesn't feel like it means a lot to me. I'm wondering if they're giving up a lot of big plays. I'm wondering if
I told you
their turnovers are so bad that they're playing on a short field a lot.
After the when we gave our gradings for the Ohio State Illinois game, that Ohio State is roughly around, I think it was like 94th, 93rd in the punting statistics in terms of punting yards per punt. Wisconsin is 77th. Not much better.
Yeah. So know your enemy is now wonder about your enemy. Esquire, I might be asking questions I already know the answer to as a narrative device.
But one thing that's
because when your opponent's this bad, how do you make this entertaining?
Yeah. But one thing that's just really one thing that we haven't talked about, and he's their home run hitter, and a name we haven't even talked about, Jared, on the offensive side. Ohio State fans should know him as a transfer out of Ohio State last year and into Wisconsin.
Sure.
Number 4, Jaden Ballard. 7 receptions, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns, averaging over 21 yards per reception. Is that something Ohio State should be concerned about?
No.
No. Yeah, the answer is no. Yeah, I'm not, based on who's throwing the ball to them. Next question.
I like Jaden Ballard, so I don't want to be mean, but no.
I'm not either. I was just leaving at that.
Understood.
Yep. All right. Anything else before we head to our first ad break?
Let's go to the ad break before I say something I'll regret.
All right. All right. TheSloopcast.com is your go-to link for anything and everything Sloopcast related. There you can find our links to our Discord, discord.thesloopcast.com. I highly, highly recommend everybody who is a Buckeye fan, listens to us, wants to talk more about Ohio State football, discord.thesloopcast.com. That is our page. Talk about everything offline, out of the podcast, Ohio State related, college football, general, or even professional sports and other non-sport topics too. Really great environment that we've built out here. Again, discord.thesloopcast.com that you can find at thesloopcast.com. We'll take that first ad break and be right back.
Okay, Kyle. Now that we have sufficiently got to know our enemy, is it time for the Sloop Sayers?
Did we?
Wisconsin. Hold on. Do you need me to do a summary? Wisconsin bad. Summary complete. Let's do the Sloop Sayers. Wisconsin bad. Ohio State good. Ohio State good football. Wisconsin bad football.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ohio State player 2 watching this game. My eyes, like it's we talked about that. Jared mentioned that Bo Jackson's injured. Don't know the extent of that and how much playing time he will have in this one. Wisconsin's rush defense is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And their pass defense, not so much. So it's got to be Julian Sand, in my eyes, as the Ohio State player to watch. Can he continue being this very, very accurate quarterback here? throwing just under 80% for the year. Continue making the right decisions when throwing the ball. Yeah, Julian Sand.
Man, I don't know. Like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Sonny Styles because I want to shut out.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I want to shut out. Sonny Styles is the leader of this defense.
Sure. Enemy player to watch.
Tackett Curtis, Christian Allegro. No, I'll go Austin Brown. I'll go safety. Teams have been trying to soft shell Ohio State. You need to have good safety play to do that. You know, if Ohio State wants to make quick work of this game, get the second and third stringers in, maybe end this a bit early, warm up the buses. You're going to want to go over the top. You know, you're going to do that with the likes of, you know, your very talented wide receiver room, and you're going to want to get past the safeties, get behind the safeties, and their better safety on this team, I would say, is Austin Brown.
I didn't even mention him when we were talking on the offense players here. I'm going to go with their tight end, Lance Mason, second on the team in receptions and yards, and tied for first in touchdowns for all receivers. And he's also second at two. Yes. He's also second in average yards per catch, only behind Jaden Ballard. So Lance Mason, it's
a good answer. It's a good answer.
They're
good answer.
Tight end. They're 6'4", 250-pound tight end from Rockwell, Texas.
There you go.
All right. Key matchup here.
Ohio State's wide receivers versus Wisconsin's deep shell.
Yeah, that's been the season for Ohio State's offense. It's going up against the shell, and that's what makes even Sand just that much just more amazing. That
it's also a good answer, Esquire,
because of how well he's able to throw the ball, his decision making. It just makes that even much more great to see how well he's been doing. For my key matchup, like it's honestly the answer is don't shoot yourself in the foot. Even though Wisconsin hasn't really turned the ball over, but they're good at third down percentage. I mentioned that they were 14th in the country, 30% third down percentage. Don't get caught getting a ton of 3-and-outs. Ohio State's been pretty good so far this year, not getting too many 3-and-outs, but got to be, just don't get yourself in too many of those situations and in making this a closer game than it really needs to. So I'll say Ohio State third down percentages.
All right.
The spread, Jared, in this game, I have to double check. Yep, it is 27.5 points.
I thought it was 28 per CBS. Didn't we just pick it at 28?
I'm looking at the CBS right now. It says 27.5. So if I wrote 28 on the number there, that is my bad.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, it's not enough.
It is not enough.
Whatever that number with 27 or 28, I don't care. I don't care because Ohio State wins this. Ohio State wins this big. Austin, get out of my goddamn head. I have Ohio State winning 42-0.
What was your score?
42-0.
42-0. I would love that. I would love that. I have the final score, Ohio State 38. Wisconsin 3.
There you go. Yeah, Austin, you're definitely the only one who thought that Ohio State could shut out a team who's 122nd in points per game in the country and just got shot out by Iowa.
Let's remember this.
What, exactly 42 points? Yes, Austin, the super rare football number of 42. Those damn divisible by 7 numbers that are so rare.
Let's not forget. I know. Austin here says Wisconsin scores 3. It's a failure.
I know you are, Austin. I'm playing along.
Let's not forget, Austin, that Wisconsin scored 14 points against Alabama earlier this season.
I'm sorry. And how many did? Hold on. Let me go back to those notes real quick. They also allowed a Florida State, who has now lost 3 games, to score 31 against them.
Sure. Yeah.
They also allowed Georgia, whose offense is buns, to score 21 against them.
Sure.
All right.
But I just wanted to say that. Where were we? Yeah, 3 points. I think that's fine. If they get the shutout, great. But over-unders. Yes, over-unders is next here. I didn't forget about you here.
Except for the part where you forgot your name. I know, I'm kidding.
Jared.
It just sounded like that sentence was going to keep going and then it didn't. That's it. That's the entire joke. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everyone's so goddamn sensitive today.
Austin's over-unders for the sad fickle.
Oh.
Over-under, Jared. Wisconsin first downs for the game at 8.5.
Gosh. I just feel like there's going to be some junk time first downs. I don't know if it'll... God, it's... The garbage time is going to screw me on this one, but under. I'm going to get screwed by garbage time. I know it.
Yeah, 8.5. Man, if they hold them to that is just amazing. I got to go over. I do. It's just, I think the garbage time it will bring that up there. So I'll go over. All right. Next up is C.J. Donaldson and Peoples rushing yards at 77.5. I'm going to go under for this one.
Man, this sucks because this is, if Bo is healthy and gets 14 plus carries, it's under. If he's not, it's over. So I just kind of don't know what the... It's over if Bo doesn't play. It's under if he does. And also there's the gray area of how many carries does he get. So even if he plays, but only gets 9 carries. Yeah, I know that's part of the fun. That's why it's a good question. I'm going to go over.
Okay.
No, maybe. Damn it. Yeah, I'll go over. Garbage time will help us in this case because our second string offensive line is so good. Like Peoples was ripping apart teams. Was it against Washington where he was just ripping up their second string offense mostly just because our backup offensive line was so much better than their backup defensive line.
Sure. Hey, Austin, I'm kind of curious how you got that to the previous one at 8.5 first downs for Wisconsin. Like they're averaging like 16.5 per game.
Against who?
Well, with a shutout, with them not even scoring a single point last week against Iowa, they still got 12 first downs.
How many is Ohio State allowing per game?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, Kyle.
I'll get back to you on that.
We'll worry about it later.
All right. Let's see. Anthony catches. So he has 24 for the year. So 24 divided by 5. He's averaging 4.8. So yeah, 4.5 catches for the game here. Yeah, Ohio State secondary is way too good, but I think Wisconsin's going to get down quickly, that they're going to be kind of forced to pass. I'm going to go under. Looking at the stats here, I just got to go under here. I'm just going to go under. I'm going to stick with my gut feeling.
Yeah. As Austin does correctly point out, you're not considering teams slow down Ohio State. If Wisconsin gets 6 drives, ? I think it'll be more than that, because I think Ohio State's going to have some very quick drives in the first half, especially some big plays. So that should increase the drive total. But you also have to consider that Wisconsin's going to have a lot of 3 and outs in this game. So give me the under.
Sure.
Which will also increase the number of drives if Wisconsin has a lot of 3 and outs.
Sure. All right. Next up is Ohio State tight end yards at 64.5. I did like this one.
I did say under.
Yep. Yeah, we both said under. 64.5 yards for Ohio State tight end yards.
I'm going to go over.
What do you think, Jared?
Okay, it just says tight ends. So if the backups get in, it doesn't matter who's catching them. I'm going to go over.
By the way, Jared, Ohio State averaging 14.5 first downs per game.
Defensively?
Defensively, yes.
Okay.
The least amount that they allowed was Ohio with 9. All right. Styles and Reese plays. Styles and Reese plays with a tackle for loss and or sack. Or I'm sorry. Styles and Reese plays with a TFL or sack.
Okay.
Over under 4.5.
Over.
Over as well.
We both took over on tight end yards.
We did, yes. And for the tackle for loss and sacks,
on that one too.
Yep. We've only different in the first one, right?
Yeah, which I'm kind of. Well, did we both? Anyway, it's fine. We keep moving forward.
Oh, different on 2 of them.
I think we were different on the rushing yards.
I said under. You said over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and stay in completion percentage at 78.5. You know,
that's a big number.
But he is at 78.5% in conference so far this year.
That's in conference. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's averaging 78.4. He is 78.4 overall.
Oh, okay.
I got to go under. It's such a huge number. I know that's his average, and you should pretty much say, yep, take it. But that's just unbelievable. That's just unbelievable. So I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over. And by the way, Austin, just can we say that's like 78.55? Just because we can actually get a 78.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
sure. Here's this percentage. Ignore the second one because that's scrambling.
Sure.
But those are the percentages.
Ignore the
for
94.7 that he threw against scrambling.
Oh, actually, he completed 100% of the passes. If you remember, none of the balls he threw hit the ground.
He did throw an interception against Grambling, which was not great.
None of them hit the ground. All right, and last one. Jeremiah Smith, total yards at 107.5. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over this one. I think Ohio State's, as we talked about earlier on, they're going to pass the ball a lot, especially with hopefully Bo Jackson potentially being nicked up, maybe not running as much with him. Going to pass the ball, get Jeremiah Smith his touches. I like my odds to go over on this one.
Yeah. I wanted to differ from you on that one just for the sake of differing from you on that one, but I can't. I think this is a JJ game. Over.
Just looking at his game logs real quick here. He hasn't had over 100 yards since a month ago against Ohio.
This is the first time they've had like a pretty... This is the first time they've played a team that doesn't have like a great safety pair in a few weeks. This is the first time, and of course the last time that they did, it ended up being a Carnell Tate day.
Yeah, that was the Minnesota. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But Washington had a good safety pair, and Illinois had a good safety pair. I don't necessarily think that you have that defensive back talent to successfully run that deep shell in a consistent way against Ohio State. If you're Wisconsin. So if this happens to be a JJ game, he'll go over.
Yep.
But it might be another Tate game, or it might be an Ennis game. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, that's it. That is all of Austin's over-unders. We got to know our enemy, got to do our slip shares. I think we'll call that a wrap here. Any last comments, words?
No, I get to do that. Kyle, do you have anything in Kyle's corner? Stop throwing off the ending rhythm of the show. I am reliant on the ending rhythm of the show to end the show.
We got two booms. Two flips. We got two flips, or really they're kind of they decommitted and going to Ohio State. But Longeri Breed, an Ohio native out of Mentor.
Why am I correcting you? I don't know.
Flipped from NC State back to the Buckeyes, as well as Kamari Bing out of Baltimore, who earlier this month decommitted from Maryland.
Yeah.
And has picked Ohio State over Alabama and other Power 4 schools.
Yeah, both of those guys are like 3-star guys who, if you just look at the recruiting rankings, you're not necessarily going to be super excited about. I've had Breedy in the class for a while now, in or near the class at least. He's even when he committed to NC State.
Yeah, I like Bing. I'll say this: I really like Bing. He's a true free safety. I think getting him is Ohio State's going to be really, really excited to have him on board.
Yep, I agree.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, tonight's ending music, once again, as it was with the other two episodes, this week will be My Own Desert Island, a band from Ohio. So once again, the name of the band is My Own Desert Island. So with that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course support your local podcasters. Once again, this is My Own Desert Island.